welcome to Nana Meg's very first cooking show. Today we are going to cook chicken and dumplings, and I am very excited to show them to you. This is my own very personal recipe that I came up with one night. Yes, I did pick my own name too, by the way. Nana Meg is my future name. I do not have any grandchildren yet. I do not have any grandchildren even thought of or even twinkle in anybody's eye yet.
That's right.
But I definitely have already picked my name, and I'm very excited about it. And yes, I am wearing a crown made out of actual rainbow sprinkles, because as anyone should know, if you own a crown made out of rainbow sprinkles, you must wear it at any given opportunity. This is just, facts and such. So we're making chicken and dumplings. This is the best chicken and dumplings ever. Absolutely the best. Anybody that disagrees, it's okay. You can disagree with me and just be wrong. That's fine. I like a lot of other chicken and dumplings too, but this one is absolutely my favorite, and I think it's wonderful. And you can have your favorite, and I can have my favorite, and well, just bless your heart. But here we go. Let's make some chicken and dumplings. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is I have 12 cups of chicken stock over here. You can make your own chicken stock, which takes a lot of time, but it's really good. Or you can just mix in the bouillon, make it that way, or buy the box of chicken stock, however you want to do it. But I have 12 cups of chicken stock boiling over here, and I've already cut up 3 or 4 chicken breasts, depending on how many people you want to feed. I like 4 chicken breasts. Paquito apparently likes 4 too. He's growling in the background. So we cut those up into bite-sized pieces. The first step is to put those in the pot with the chicken stock. And you just want to put them in kind of gently because they do splash a little bit. But you're just going to plop them right in there like that. And give them a good stir so they're down in there. I'm going to turn my heat back up so they can be boiling. So those are going to be cooking along with the biscuits that we're going to do in a separate pot, because the biscuits swell up so big that you don't have a big enough pot to do all that in. So at the same time but in a different pot. Over here I'm going to have all the vegetables and make the roux and all that stuff, but the chicken and the biscuits are cooking over here. Okay, there we go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open my biscuits. I just use Grand's biscuits. They can be regular biscuits or the butter tasting. It doesn't really matter. So this is 1 biscuit. I'm going to use 2 whole cans of biscuits. Woo-woo. I am taking it and rolling it up into a little poof. Kind of smooshing it down and just putting them in there. Okay, so I've got most of the biscuits in here, but you can see they pretty much swell up and take up everything, and I'm still putting more biscuits in, and I'm just smooshing them down a little bit and put them in like that, and they'll get down in there, and we'll stir it around a little bit, and eventually that'll swell down. I'm not sure if that's an actual saying or not, but it won't be this poofy. It'll be right. And here, and you just want to kind of take like that, and it's all over. And I know that there are people who love to do like hand rolled out biscuits and stuff, and I admire you. I think that's wonderful, but this just tastes so good, and it is so much easier. If you have the time and the desire and like that way better, that is of course fine. But this is a whole lot easier and super unbelievably tasty. So this is my last biscuit going in. I'm gonna put it in here. That wasn't too big, because they will swell. So if I break them up into that big, they're going to be about that big by the time we eat them. So I'm going to push those on down into the boiling chicken stock. Stir it around just a wee bit. Turn it down just a little bit, and it's going to poof pretty big and cook while I'm preparing these vegetables. The other things you want to put in here other than chicken stock is 3 bay leaves. And I always count how many bay leaves you put in, because you want to take them out at the end, because you don't want someone getting a spoonful of chicken and dumplings and biting into a bay leaf, because they're sharp and they're not good to swallow. And then I also put in a super pretty good helping of poultry seasoning along with the chicken stock. So no salt or anything like that, just poultry seasoning bay leaves and chicken stock, regular chicken cut up into bite-sized pieces, and your rolled up little biscuits in here ready to go. And they're going to cook the whole time that I am cutting up my vegetables and sauteing my vegetables and making my roux. And then we will combine the two pots and it will be luscious and wonderful. So there we go. Okay, so the chicken and the dumplings are cooking in their mixture over there. We're going to prepare all the vegetables, put all the vegetables in one pot so they all start cooking together. And we will cook them together. But the first thing we're going to do is one individual carrot. You do not want more than one carrot, in my opinion, because I think it makes it too sweet. I don't like the taste or texture of cooked carrots personally, so I have a very specific way to cook them where they're smaller, but their sweetness is needed, but you don't want too much. So you want to, of course, peel your carrot first, and well, actually, I want to peel it into my compost bowl. I'm going to peel the carrot into my compost bowl. Because that's my chicken bowl that the chicken came out of. That's nasty. Okay. Even though I already washed it, you can't wash vegetables too much, in my opinion. So you're going to cut the end off of both of them. Then you're going to cut it down the middle, like that. And then you're going to cut it again down that middle. And if it's a big section, like I think that's too big of a piece, I go ahead and make it about that size too. Okay? And you just stack them all together and you make them little carrot bits. Okay, so now we're going to do the celery. And by the way, I needed to make sure y'all understand, I turned the chicken dumpling mixture down pretty low for it to boil kind of low. So you're not going to boil out all of the juices while you're doing the rest of this stuff. So the way I do celery is I just take the end off like that. I take the tops off like that.
Decorations are falling.
The center part down. Take those all out. And then you want to, of course, wash it really good again. Wash all your vegetables. Okay. So, for the celery, same thing. You don't want them too big. So you go down the half, but see how this is like a good size, but this is a little bit bigger. So this one's getting another cut. And this one's getting another cut. Okay. So we have the celery all chopped like in long pieces, small-ish, but not tiny. And then you just stack it all together. Then when you get to the end, you just kind of have to chop it up a little bit. But these last little pieces, I just compost them. Because it's very efficient that way, and it keeps them all about the same size, which means they're going to cook about the same. We're going to put them over here with our carrot and do our next celery thing. Okay, so now we're going to cut up the onion. And in case you haven't noticed, yes, I'm cutting up on a plastic plate because I do not own a cutting board. I do not really want a cutting board because I kind of like to cut only a few things on it. Like, I don't want to have a cutting board just for chicken and a cutting board just for meat. So I just use plastic plates for everything. Works out good for me. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut the onion. We hold the peel with a knife as we roll it to the other side. Then we cut this side and peel it down like that. So you've got both ends. There you go. You can't compost onions, okay? Now I'm going to peel off the outermost layer, nice and easy, just like that. Okay, I'm going to rinse off my plate to get all the peel off of it. Shake it off real good so we don't have a slippy slidey situation going on. Cut it in half, put half of it over there. Now okay, can you see right here where it looks like rainbows? This is what we're going to use to our advantage. You can cut these as thick or as thin as you want. And this is going to depend on how teeny tiny pieces you want. If you want them teeny tiny, you want them medium, you want them giant, what do you want? It's your choice. But see, now when I cut that, that's turned into whole bunches of small little pieces. See that? Watch. See, these are all individual little pieces. Break it apart. Boink. See, that's like 5 pieces right there. So by doing it like this way, once they cook, like see right here, this is 3 different pieces. Once the rainbows let go of each other. So you end up with a whole, once it gets to that part, you just turn it on its side and cut it like that. Now everything is evenly diced and it will all come apart once it gets in the pot and it's hot. These little pieces in between let go of each other when it cooks, that little tendon part there, or whatever it is, I'm not sure what it is. But you put it on in there and we'll do the other half. Okay, I'm just peeling 3 individual cloves of garlic, just peeling them off. And then we're gonna smush them in the little garlic smusher thingamabobber, and yeah. Just put the garlic in there, squish, pull the inside out, put the new piece in, squish. Okay, so this pot is not a non-stick pot, so I have to put about a tablespoon of butter in it to saute the vegetables. But I've got all my vegetables cut up here. They're all about the same size. We got the onion, the carrot, the celery, and the garlic all in here. Once my butter melts, I'm gonna put it in here and we're just gonna cook it down until the onions become translucent. And we're gonna add, once again, we're gonna put a good portion, at least a tablespoon or so, of poultry seasoning and 3 more bay leaves in there with it while it's cooking. Okay, so you can see the soupy part of the chicken and dumplings is taking on like a whole nother look other than just chicken stock as it's cooked over here with the biscuits and the chicken. And the biscuits have gone back down to a much more reasonable size, and you can see the bay leaves in there, and that's just going to continue to cook while we're doing the vegetables. I just put them in here with the butter. You can hear them sizzling a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and add the poultry seasoning, and I'll probably need a little bit more than that. And I'm going to add 3 bay leaves. And, well, I'll add just a titch more poultry seasoning. There we go. There we go. And you just keep stirring it, especially when you have you don't have a non-stick big pot. You just want to keep stirring it so nothing burns on the bottom. So I'm just stirring for a good little bit here. You just stand here and smell all the wonderfulness and contemplate your life. It's fabulous. Everything's looking really good. But it takes a little while to cook this many vegetables down. You're looking for the onions to be translucent and things just to look a little different. But it sure does smell wonderful. Okay, so the onions have turned translucent, and we've cooked this for about 15 to 20 minutes. And maybe not even that long, I'm not sure. But I need to add a little bit more liquidy stuff to make the roux, so I'm putting about another tablespoon and a half of butter in there. Plop. And I'm going to let that melt real quick. And then we're going to add about a cup of flour and just stir it really good for about a minute or so. But I got to get this butter to melt first. And it sure would be nice to be a little bit taller while I was cooking, because I got my arm up here in my earlobe. But that's the way it goes for Shorty McShorties over here. So you add the flour, boop, 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 just like that. And we're gonna stir that around. Now we don't put this in here for very long, but we want to stir it really good to get rid of all the white flaky things, because we don't want that to make little lumps, little mini untasty dumplings. So we stir it good. It gets kind of rough to stir. I'm gonna turn it down a titch so it's not burning the flour. But you want to stir it the whole time you got the flour in there like that. You see how it's just kind of pasty, and can you see that around the steam? It's like a clump, and it's making like a paste on the bottom of the pan. And so that's full of good flavors, just deliciousness. We want that to cook just a little bit, like no more than a minute or two, but we do want it to have a minute or two. If you do it immediately, it'll be gross, and if you do it too long, it's burnt. So it's kind of important to have the eyeball for that. And you just want to get a little bit tan, and that's where we are. So now that we're at the flour is tan spot, then I'm going to take this solution over here, what's my ladle, pull up the juicy part and put it in here, and kind of get this loosened up a little bit before I just dump it all in there, because if I dump it all in there at once, this will coagulate and be nasty. So just a couple ladlefuls of the chicken brothy stuff. And you just want it to get good and sloshy in here instead of clumpy. I hope that makes sense to people. See how it's mushy, not clumpy? See how it's mushy? I'm not sure if that's a real word, but that's the most descriptive word I can come up with at the moment. Then, just pick this sucker up and pour it in and stand back. Like that. And you will have some dumplings that try to cling on for dear life. You just say no, because those suckers are delicious. Ugh. Come back over here. Put my ladle back this way. And stir, 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 and turn off the burner that you were using, because that's not going to help. And you do have to give it a good strong stir, because you have all that stuff that was mushy on the bottom not wanting to let go, and then it loosens up and it makes this perfect consistency of deliciousness. Can you see in there? The chicken, the dumplings, the carrots, the celery, the onions, and those bay leaves. I have 6 in there now, because I had 6 in that pot. I had 3 in that pot and 3 in this pot, so I've got 6. And I will find them all and pull them out and throw them away, because I don't want anybody ingesting a bay leaf. So you just sort of stir and pick up, and they'll, see, there's another one. They'll pop up. You'll find them. Just be real careful when you pull them out. It's like hot. You don't have to throw them on your stove like a Neanderthal, but that's what I've chosen to do. Well, I have thoroughly enjoyed this, and now I'm going to enjoy a wonderful bowl of chicken and dumplings with my wonderful daughter. Woo. And I hope you have enjoyed Nana Meg's cooking session. I certainly have, because I have certainly missed talking to everyone.